Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. All right. Hello, everybody, and Ruth Ellen. Hi, Ruth Ellen. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. Let's go ahead and open up that waiting room and let everybody in. Thank you so much for your patience. I promise this is well worth waiting for, as it is a joy to experience technology, because then we learn how to be more creative and make things happen. My name is Becca Dukes, as the Director of Student Services for the Institute of Holistic Health, and also the host of this show, producer of this show. I am excited to be able to welcome Dr. Laura Dennison on with us today. So, folks, you're in for a great treat. And if you have any questions, make sure that you get back with the person that shared this program with you. We will, if time allows, have some Q&A at the end. But then if you have any questions about the products themselves and how to get your hands on them, or any other recommendations, you want to make sure that you get back with the person who shared this program with you. So, without further ado, we are thrilled, as I said before, to have Dr. Laura Dennison, a renowned naturopathic doctor and a leading expert in hormone health. Dr. Laura is a passionate advocate for natural health, driven by her own personal journeys of overcoming health challenges. After experiencing the limitations in conventional medicine, Dr. Laura embarked on a path of self-discovery, exploring alternatives approaches to health and wellness. She now empowers others to take control of their health by identifying and addressing root causes of imbalances, such as endocrine disruptors, which also we're going to be talking about. So, Dr. Laura, thank you so much for not giving up and getting on with us. I love the fact that we can do this wherever we are at, and sometimes we just have to be a little creative in making it happen. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you so very much.
Well, thank you. And thank you for your patience. And you guys, I don't know why technology for me is I need AJ in my back pocket. Okay. He needs to be here to help me, and Ruth Ellen and your whole team, because I don't know what happens. And I'm not even in this same spot that I was last time. So anyway, okay. So hormone disruptors, and you know, Becca, what's neat about this.
And that just goes to prove that we're not just trying to delay people, okay? She's going to be back here shortly. And yes, it is absolutely a blessing to have AJ in my back pocket and Ruth Ellen as well, as they are just fabulous at figuring things out and helping us as we work together to make everything happen. So just a little bit of housekeeping. This program is being sponsored by dailywithdoc.com. If you have any questions in regards to wanting to know more information, we do have a call team standing by for those who are not working with anybody. That number is 855-949-3377. Again, that's for people that are not working with anybody, that have not been referred by anybody. So we also have the ability to look up the good foods, bad foods list on our website, again, dailywithdoc.com, and some of our past programming can be found there. Also, a little bit about us and more articles about how to empower yourself to create your best health journey. And don't forget to sign up for our email list, as we do send out a list. Did she come? Did I miss her? We do send out an email that lets you know when we're going to be started, who we're going to have on, who we've had on, so that you can tune in. And also, as you keep them in your email in a special folder, then when you want to refer back to them, they are there, easy to search and get that information. So we are still working on getting Dr. Laura back. Endocrine disruptors. Not very many people understand what an endocrine disruptor is, and I can't wait for her to share more information about that, because that ended up being one of the things that was affecting my health greatly. Not the only thing, but one of the biggest things that I learned. So as she is working on coming back in, I know Ruth Ellen has her on the phone. It's all coming around. We're going to be getting her back with us. So again, if you have questions in regards to hormones and endocrine disruptor and anything else that you hear about on today's program, you're going to want to make sure that you raise your hand, and as time allows, we're going to get to some questions, and because we want to make sure that people know how empowered they actually are. You do not have to be captured by a system that just wants to manage poor health. Folks, we're all about looking at the body as a whole, in the lifestyles, the food, and things that we have around us that could actually be detrimental to our own health. So we are, and to help us learn more about the whole approach to naturopathic medicine, Dr. Wallach is the founder of our crusade that we are on. He is a researcher, author. He's a doctor of veterinary medicine. He has a Bachelor of Science in Plant and Soil Sciences. He has 3 postdoctorates in pathology. And if that was not enough, he decided to become a naturopathic doctor so that he could help humans, as well as he is a licensed naturopathic doctor in at least 3 states. So I'm super excited that he is on listening as we are learning about more of the tools that have been brought into the longevity umbrella of trusted products. These are products that I myself, when I was in dire straits, folks, I did so many different things, and I remembered one of them the other day that I haven't mentioned, and that's pleurisy. And folks, when you have pleurisy and you have an inflammation, it feels like you are having a heart attack. It is horrible, horrific pain. And then mix that in with things like fibromyalgia, metabolic syndrome, which Dr. Wallach and I wrote a book called Metabolic Syndrome. And it is, diabetes are not genetic diseases, folks. And then we also listed a lot of other conditions that are associated and fall within metabolic syndrome, like abdominal obesity, diabetes type 2, hypertension, low blood sugar, prediabetes, hyperinsulinemia, impaired growth, learning disabilities, ADHD, hyperactivity, hyperirritability, depression, manic depression, bipolar disease, protein loss, elevated blood triglycerides, elevated blood cholesterol, aortic cholesterol plaque, infertility, low sperm count, shortening lifespan, just a few of the things that fall within the metabolic syndrome. And one thing that as we were writing this, I wanted to make sure it was easy to find the good foods, bad foods list. So I put it right here on the back of the book. And you can get books by Dr. Joel Wallach by calling Wellness Publications at 800-755-4656. And with every order, they also include the educational brochure that lists all of the books that Dr. Wallach, all 25 of them, wrote. He and his wonderful wife, Dr. Ma Lan, who is a microsurgeon. She's also trained in traditional Chinese medicine. And she helped him she was a very big part of the study where they went to Qishan, China, where children were dying without any known cause. And this is under the age of 10. They did autopsies on 1,700 different children. And when you do an autopsy, you're looking at all different things, the physical organs, but also looking at nutritional panels. And when he found that there was something missing, the diseases occurred. And specifically in that area, it was something that has been told here is toxic. Oh no, don't take it. Well, folks, selenium is so important that without it and in the right form with the cofactors, Dr. Wallach found that it is actually a leading cause of other conditions like muscular dystrophy, also cystic fibrosis, so many different things. And he, because of his research and found the value in nutrition, he actually sued the FDA 8 times and won, so that we can actually say that different nutrients have value and are essential in life, where before you couldn't give any health claims to any type of nutrition. So I am honored that he fought so hard for us. And was just some of what he has done. Now, he started out as a veterinarian, and through his research, he also found the underlying cause of a mass die-off of lambs while he was working his way through veterinary school. He was able to do autopsies and found that there was an environmental pollutant that was causing goiter, which prevented them from being able to control body temperature. Okay. And he found it to be nitrates. So let's think about something, folks. In this world, we've got an epidemic of conditions that are associated with thyroid, hyperthyroid, hypothyroid, there she is, Hashimoto's. And then whenever we look at their food and all of the processing, what does it include? Nitrates. Let's get a clue, folks. Well, I'm going to bring Dr. Laura back on with us. Dr. Laura.
Hello.
Hello.
So no video today, I guess, but
that works. We'd love to hear your beautiful voice. So let's get back to endocrine disruptors. What are they?
Okay, so endocrine disruptors. Okay, so one, we have all these hormones and they're chemical messengers. Okay, and hormones, their primary role is to carry out specific tasks to keep you healthy. So we're constantly in a state of needing these hormones to benefit our body. I mean, every organ in your body, you're either, producing too many hormones, not enough hormones. But then we have these hormone disruptors, and hormone disruptors can, show up at any age. Okay. And the thing is these disruptors comes from our environment, mainly, toxins that we're used to being around can mimic hormones. And so here's some symptoms of having a hormone imbalance. Okay, one is fatigue, moodiness, low libido, weight gain, weight loss, thinning of hair, frequent headaches, migraines, blood sugar problems, brain fog, irregular menstrual cycles, PMS, acne, depression, bloating. And a lot of times, we're diagnosed with a condition, but sometimes it's actually what we're doing to our bodies and putting different hormones, mimicking hormones, these disruptors, that's causing this imbalance. And so, I, at the age of 27, had a complete hysterectomy. And, it just rocked my world. And so I have dedicated most of my education towards hormones because, one, I have 3 daughters, and then I have 6 granddaughters. And so, I didn't want them to go through what I went through. And so we have to look at our diet. And I know I joined on here when you were talking about the bad foods, like the nitrates, and you guys, in most of the environmental toxins, one, these toxins that are being put into our food supply and being allowed to be in our cleaning products, being allowed to, be in, everything that we touch, okay, our government is allowing that, okay? And so we have to figure out what these are, and then we can figure out what we can do about it. So here are some of the chemicals, okay, that can disrupt, okay? You got your xenoestrogens, okay? These are the chemicals that act as estrogen in the body, and we normally get it from our food, okay? So, you know, the different hormones, the different grains, the different things that is put in our food supplies can mimic estrogen. Soy lecithin, that's an ingredient that mimics the estrogen, okay? And then we have atrazine. This toxin is an herbicide. And when we talk about herbicides, you know, we talk about, you know, in our food, okay, you know, they're spraying the vegetables, they're non-GMO seeds, you know, all of these are endocrine disruptors. All of these chemicals, okay, are disrupting our hormones. Then you have lead, which, you know, lead now is not in paint, but, you know, older houses, you know, this was a toxin. And so, but here is some top, and they're called forever chemicals, and they're called PFAs, and that's perfluoroalkyl, okay? And this is in things that we are not even, didn't even know that it was in, okay? And here's the top places that you'll find these forever chemicals. Women's hygiene products, okay? Shampoo, carpeting, okay? So every time you're laying your baby down on carpet, okay, it's got these PFAs. So, you know, we're not going to live in a bubble, but we need to be aware that these PFAs can cause all these disruption with our hormones. Tap water, cell phones, okay, toilet paper, dental floss, eye contacts, your mattress that you sleep on contains these PFAs. And these forever chemicals, here's what they were designed to do. They were designed to repel water, dirt, and oil, okay? And so the longer these chemicals are in our everyday source and you're not getting rid of those chemicals, okay, then you're going to have a disruption of hormones. Food packaging, non-kitchenware, non-stick kitchenware like Teflon. You know, Teflon is something that people don't even think of it because you're wanting a non-stick pan, but, you know, cast iron skillets is the best. And also is, you know, steel or ceramic. You know, you don't want to do Teflon. But yoga pants and sports bras. And I think about my granddaughters, and that's all they wear is because they're dancers. But you're thinking about this clothing, and you want it to repel. You want it to, you know, no water, dirt, or oil. So even the method of sweating, they're making this clothing with these PFAs in it. Okay, beauty products. And, you know, and here's the problem, that these chemicals have been linked to autoimmunity, infertility, weight gain, hormone imbalance, cancer. These are all things that these chemicals are linked to, okay? Well, we're not going to live in that bubble, right, Rebecca? We're going to do things to our body that is going to help. Okay, so here's some things that you can do. You know, one, you can eat organically. You know, I'm a very stickler on non-GMO and eating organic foods. Okay. Now sometimes there's things that you can do that that, you know, doesn't have the pesticides, and you can, you know, pick out some certain vegetables that doesn't have as many chemicals. You know, but eating organic is one of those things. Rinsing your vegetables, rinsing your fruit, you know, put a little vinegar wash on them to get rid of the residue. Exercise regularly. You know, this is very important because the lymphatic system needs to move these toxins out of the body. Okay. And so just exercising can help with that. Change from plastic to glass. You know, especially in our industry and with our products that we have, we're always mixing them in a plastic bottle. Okay, you need to switch to glass because glass doesn't contain those chemicals. Yes, or a stainless steel tumbler, or, you know, because, you know, taking a water bottle, okay, that has leached in all these plastics, okay, even though it says BPA free, it's still was trucked across the United States, exposed to heat, exposed to cold temperatures, and this plastic, these microplastics leach into our water, okay? And so going from plastic to glass can help you with these endocrine disruptors, okay? There's an app called Think Dirty. And I don't know if you've used that, Rebecca, but it is an amazing app that actually talks about our cleaning products and talks about the chemicals that, if it's a clean product or not, okay? You can take the app into the grocery store with you. You can scan any lotion, any, shampoo, conditioner, and it's going to come up with all the different chemicals, okay, that is contained in that product. Well, what's neat about our industry, okay, and the company that we are affiliated with, Youngevity, okay, we have our own cleaning products. We have our own makeup. We have our own, natural, like I said, cleaning products and different things like that. So shampoos, conditioners, these are all healthy for us that doesn't contain these chemicals that actually can disrupt our hormones. And I think about my grandkids, and they're really into skincare. Of course, their favorite skincare is Youngevity, and from the toners to. But I think about kids that are exposed to all these chemicals, that it disrupts their hormones. One of the top things is infertility. Okay, this hormone imbalance, and you have these kids using makeup that has all these chemicals, okay, these forever chemicals that get stored in the body, mainly in the fat cells, okay, and doesn't become a problem until your body is overloaded with these chemicals, okay. And that's why they're doing a lot of research whenever it comes to these forever chemicals, being able to do a cleaner way. And it is being more brought to the forefront that these chemicals are destroying, especially a hormone imbalance. So that's some of the things that you could do, but we also have fantastic products. And here's the two things that to do to make sure that you're getting rid of these chemicals and you're balancing your hormones. One is you have to be on a good detox program. Now, we have the 30-day detox program, but I'm talking about daily detox, okay? And here's some of my favorite products with Youngevity that does a daily detox, okay, that's going to help to get rid of these chemicals. Now, the 9 essential nutrients with these minerals helps to detox, okay? And so even just taking the 90 for life, you're going to get a level of detoxification with your minerals, okay? But to go even further, the Hope product. The Hope is a super blood purifier, and it does a daily detox. You can take it every single day. But here's some of the herbs that really goes into the Hope product to help on a detoxification level. Is you have the milk thistle, you have dandelion, which dandelion is also helps to purify the liver. It's got olive leaf and burdock. These are important herbs that's going to help you to try to keep these chemicals, okay, from getting stored in the body. Because like I said, Becca, we're not going to live in a bubble, and we're not always going to be where we can't drink out of a glass bottle, okay. And so these chemicals that we're talking about, these forever chemicals, if we're doing something daily to help, especially in supplementation, that's going to be really good. Okay. The next one is the herbal rainforest. I love the herbal rainforest. It also does a level of detoxification. And here's some of the nutrients that goes into the herbal rainforest. It's got the minerals. Okay. The minerals is key, especially whenever it comes to detoxification. Dandelion, it's got alfalfa. It's got celery. Celery is another detoxification herb, the celery root, okay, it helps to detoxify. It's got the angelica root, which is amazing. Then you have the Stay Thin, okay. The Stay Thin is one of my favorite products out of the Sta-Natural brand, okay, and it helps to trap fat, okay. These chemicals will get stored in your fat cells. And so when you're trapping the bad fats and getting it eliminated through the system, the state then will help with that. Okay. And so it helps to also has a level of detoxification. Then we have an amazing product called the Ultra Body Toddy. Okay, this is one of my favorite products with longevity. And it has the N-acetylcysteine, which is called NAC. And during the pandemic, okay, they really wanted people to supplement with the N-acetylcysteine. And N-acetylcysteine has a level of detoxification, but it also has the support of harmonizing hormones. Okay, these chemical messengers that we got to have. It is, one of the key ingredients that goes into balancing out hormones. And so I am in love with this product. Of course, like I said, I had a complete hysterectomy at age 27. I'm going to be 55 this year. And so I have battled hormones my whole life. And so it's been, and so I love that product. And so besides the N-acetylcysteine, okay, NAC, is besides it harmonizing the hormones, it's a super antioxidant. Okay, so it's going to try to get rid of those chemicals that get stored in the body. And it helps to detoxify the liver. So that's an important ingredient that goes into that product. And I just absolutely love it. Then, when we talk about, I was talking about the xenoestrogens, okay? And that's usually comes from soy products. You're going to get it out of your food. And what happens is this xenoestrogen, this chemical, okay, that they're putting into the foods to mimic estrogen, your body will have elevated levels of estrogen, which can really cause problems, not only with women, but also for men. Okay. Prostate cancer has been linked to excessive estrogen. Okay. And they say, well, wow, I'm not taking any estrogen supplements. No, you're getting it out of your food. You're getting these chemicals that act like an estrogen, which is even more harmful, for you. And so like soy, soy lecithin, anything that has soy lecithin in it, okay, which is a binding agent, which is in your granola bars, it's in your, a lot of protein bars and anything to make it bind, okay, is going to have soy lecithin. Your crackers, and which, hopefully everybody on here, or if you're joining us for the first time, we try to stay away from crackers like gluten and different things. And so this can be also associated with these extra estrogens. And so you have to have products that can help balance out and get rid of the excessive estrogen that's not supposed to be there in the body. Okay. And one of the products, which was my hero product, is the Stay Balanced. Stay Balanced has no, phytoestrogens. Okay. What it has is it has testosterone boosters. Testosterone is, you think about it as a man's hormone, but no, testosterone is actually helping to balance out estrogen. Okay. Whether your body has too little or if it has too much, testosterone is the superhero hormone that comes in and balances out that estrogen. And the Stay Balanced has all of those testosterone boosters, which, these boosters are, critical to help to balance it out. And so Stay Balanced has been my hero product for, I didn't do the math of how old I am versus when I had my hysterectomy, but it's been a while. Okay. So I've been on this product, for, 20 some years. And I'm telling you, it's the reason why, Stan and I are still married, because I was pretty much a bear. Here's the thing is, if I would have known about all of this education and all the endocrine disruptors and all of these chemicals at a younger age and started, staying away from it, I don't know if I would have had to have my hysterectomy, because I had the fibroids, okay, and one was the size of a softball, the other one was the size of an orange, and And so I had to have a complete hysterectomy. But what that was, it was too much estrogen in my body. Okay. And I didn't have this education at a young age. And so, but when you know the truth, it's going to set you free. And so really understand that the environment that we have right now, especially, living today, we are inundated with, these chemicals. It's in our cleaning products. It's in our, just in our mattress and in our carpet and all of these things. So you have to supplement to be able to, to try to get out these environmental poisons that they're putting in our body. Okay. And when you do that, you're going to regulate your hormones, which is beautiful. And that's, and a lot of times just regulating your hormones can cause, can help you with all those different conditions that get associated with a hormone imbalance, and especially the autoimmune conditions. But I love our products. I love, the minerals, especially because, it really works, double duty. Okay. Besides nutrifying our body, minerals has a way of balancing and getting rid of, these environmental toxins that we have.
Completely agree. I mean, because we are bombarded with toxins. Even some of the things that are supposed to be healthy, or they say natural, when you look at the ingredients, they really aren't.
And that's why we need help. And that's why I am so proud of what you and your team does. I mean, every day you're educating people on, what to do, how to take the products, what to stay away from. And, because I wish it was just supplementation is all we needed to do. There's so much more that goes into it because, even, the EMF protections and getting out in sunshine. I mean, there's so many different things and it takes a whole, mind, body, spirit. I mean, understanding what you ingest, okay, because you can't out supplement a bad diet. But, you also have to understand is what you're putting in, is it causing your condition? And so.
Absolutely. I'm taking this naturopathic practitioner course, and we touch on the endocrine system and the different things in plastics and in our environment. But man, there's so much that we can do that we don't have to rely on the grocery store for, but we have to plan it out. We have to be intentional. And I love how you brought up Ultra Body Toddy, because whenever I was going through and money was super tight, this was my go-to for my 90 essential nutrients, because it had all the herbs. As an herbalist, I absolutely loved that. And then the N-acetylcysteine, which is important for so many different things in that Cell Shield blend. So I'm glad that you mentioned this one, because we don't mention this one very often as being part of the 90, but it's been around a long time, and I'm glad that it's still here because it is so valuable in helping people gain, regain, maintain better health.
Absolutely. It's one of my favorite products too. It's a well blended product.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, we do have a couple questions. And one of the questions Barbara wanted to know, again, the name of that app. Is it Think Dirty?
That's correct. Think Dirty.
So is it Think Dirty by Clean is what she's asking.
I will, by the end of this, I will let you know. I will go to my app right now. And so.
Okay. Awesome. And then Olga has a great question. How do broccoli sprouts affect hormones?
Okay, so I'm glad that you brought that up. Okay, because cruciferous vegetables are so important, especially for the endocrine system. Okay, so your broccoli, your Brussels sprouts, your cabbage, your kale, All of these help to get rid of these chemicals that we're talking about. Okay, but it also helps to balance out hormones. And that's what you're doing is you're getting rid of these phytoestrogens. You're getting rid of these mimicking xenoestrogens. Okay, and just, vegetables can do that. That's why I also like our Super Greens product. I mean, our Super Greens product is another one, and I think about, regulating pH and all the pre and pro probiotics that goes into that. But think about those vegetables. Think about, the cruciferous, your spinach, and, even, it's not a cruciferous vegetable, but, the alfalfa, the spirulina, the chlorella, all of these are also here to help, whenever it comes to balancing out hormones and getting rid of those estrogens.
And it tastes great.
Tastes great. I love them.
I love it as a tea, which I've been meaning to ask you because I know it has fermented vegetables in there, and they're dehydrated and then put into a powder that you mix in water. Does it make a difference if you mix it in cold or hot water?
No, it does not.
Yay. I'm so glad because I was like, I love the taste of it, but I love it as a tea in the evening and just trying to, unwind, relax with it. So that's
Now,
absolutely
if you were to get to like a boiling point, I mean, with any product, like if you were to put it on the stove and boil it, you're going to lose its effects of, your efficacy. But, if you're just, brewing it as a tea or anything like that, absolutely.
Yeah, so you want to stop it before it gets to the rapid boil. So
Yeah.
like 180, 170. I like to drink it at 120, or 140 actually.
Yes.
Oh, definitely not at the hot stage. Now, back to the cruciferous vegetables. I know if there's some people that aren't they're told they can't have them. But then as we're talking with pharmacists, Ben, if you cook them, then that helps so that you can actually process them. I put my microgreens that have those cruciferous vegetables into my blender with that soup function that then structures it, mixes it all up, and brings it to a warm temperature. Does that constitute as cooking?
Yes, yes. And what you're doing is you're breaking down the fibrous phthalates, okay, with the vegetable, and that's the reason why some people can't, um, handle it. Now, I have a different take on, because I know that, the nightshade vegetables, and there's tons of, education on that, and there is merit to it. But at the same time, healing the gut and letting the gut be able to break down it correctly, because if you're just staying away from something, you still have the same problem. So you really need to focus on gut health. And this is sort of on a different line of thinking and logic. And it was CNG Coach Jeevers, he brought it to my attention, and it's so true. Like my granddaughter is anaphylactic, allergic to dairy. Okay. And so we were able to get her on a gut protocol. Okay. Now it took longer than a year. Okay. For us to, because we were actually pretty scared to introduce any dairy, but she was able to handle butter, and she doesn't drink milk, but she doesn't have the anaphylactic response because we focused on her gut. And so back to the person that also has a problem cooking it down and breaking up those phthalates in the fibrous, in the fiber of the vegetable, and also making sure that you have proper gut health is a solution.
Now, she also mentioned fermented cruciferous vegetables. Does that help to break down those phthalates as well?
Absolutely. You guys, fermentation of any, I mean, fermented vegetables, like, of course, the top one is sauerkraut. Okay. And so, but that is so good for the gut, but it also, really helps to break down the food as well. So fermenting it would even be a great solution.
All right, great questions, Olga. Thank you so much for bringing those into the show today. I love fermented vegetables, and I know Sherry, one of our co-hosts, she even teaches classes on how to ferment. So super excited to be sharing some of her classes in the future. Now, you had mentioned your granddaughters. Your granddaughters are dancers. My granddaughters are dancers, and they do wear stage makeup. And when I see that, I just cringe because I know what's in that makeup that they're using. What can I share with the entertainment world in regards to some of the most toxic things you can put on your face, on your body,
Well,
and could be causing issues?
absolutely. And, my daughter, okay, she owns the dance studio. Okay. And so she understands the whole stage makeup. And yes, there is some that, well, most makeup, especially stage makeup, is very toxic. Okay. And so she understands to get a cleaner version, which Youngevity has a tremendous, makeup line. That's all I use. That's all. And when you think about, okay, because back to the stage makeup, lipstick is a very important part, okay, in competition, okay. And so that chemical, not only is it going on the lips, but they're also eating it. Okay. When you think about your lipstick, you're actually getting part of it ingested. Okay. So now, besides, you worrying about your skin and the toxins leaching in that way, now you also have to worry about those toxins in your gut.
Mhm.
And so, and a lot of people don't realize that you eat part of your lipstick. I mean, and so getting a cleaner version, like I said, that think dirty, and it is the Shop Clean. It's a little black box, but that will actually scan any beauty products. And actually, so that is good leverage to say, hey, these are the chemicals. Okay. This is what the chemicals cause. And, when we talk about um, our grandchildren and our kids, we're worried about the hormone imbalance, and infertility especially is on the rise. So many, of course, thank goodness for Dr. Wallach and his, protocol and the minerals and to be able to help with birth and with the infertility issue. But the thing is you have to look back and you have to look at, am I putting these environmental toxins in my body? And most women, okay, besides the makeup, they're the ones that's cleaning the house. And so they're breathing in those fumes. I love Jeanette Anderson and how she brought over the Nature's Direct, and how she said, even Windex. I mean, and the thing is you don't know what's in Windex. Okay. You really have to dig to find what chemicals they actually have in there. Because if you look at the label, they don't have to list these chemicals on the label. Okay. Which just floors me. I mean, I don't understand how that could even be true, but it is. But when you spray that Windex, you're breathing in those fumes. Okay. And so, all those toxins and the harmful things that it can do. Here's another thing that is very important and that we have access to with Youngevity is laundry detergent. Okay. The chemicals that goes in, and, I think about the Febreze and all these, aerosols that we're spraying into the air just because we want it to smell clean and helpful. Or candles, candles contain these chemicals. You have to get, candles that are made, that doesn't have these chemicals. Your pets are receiving these chemicals as well. Okay, but back to the laundry detergent, you're cleaning your clothes. Okay, and then you're putting them on, and you're breathing in those chemicals all day long. Okay, besides it being on your skin, you're actually breathing in those chemicals, and so it's very harmful. And of course, we got a natural laundry detergent that is fantastic, which is wonderful that Youngevity has the ability for us to have these products to help.
Absolutely. I love the Hydro Wash. Absolutely love it. And the Nature Direct. I had to use some this morning, actually. And folks, if you've got animals and when you keep your carpets clean, the carpet cleaner is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And you had mentioned the glass cleaner. Love it, love it, love it. And I love the fact that it comes in small bottles. It's highly concentrated. You add just not even a tablespoon. It's 0.85 ounces. So that's just under a tablespoon to a 16-ounce bottle of cool water. And you spray. That's all it takes. And it smells great. So I love my revitalizer. I've got that over there, helps to clean my air. So many different things that are available to help us keep those endocrine disruptors out of our environment, completely out of our environment. And one thing you didn't mention is hair dye. And then we have one question before we end the show. Tell us about hair dye.
Okay, hair dye and also nail polish. Okay, you guys, getting your nails done. And, I think about those ladies that do it and, the people that work in there. And, but hair dye contains, and now I will say this, okay, besides that you shouldn't dye your hair. Okay. And if you take enough EFAs, then you gray, because that's why we dye our hair, is because we're worried about the gray. Okay. If you take enough essential fatty acids, then that should take care of that problem. But hair dye, especially, going to the hair follicle, okay, these chemicals, okay, which is the PFAs, is so harmful. And like I said, you're talking, why does the hairdressers, whenever they put it on your hair, why are they wearing gloves? Okay. If it wasn't harmful, I mean, why are they having to, wear the gloves? And a lot of them wear the masks, but it is, and, you talk about hair dye, but I can remember as a child getting a perm. My mom, that was the thing back then. Okay. And can you remember, it would smell for like 3 days. Okay. That
Horrible.
smell was chemicals. We were breathing it in. And, for even longer, I mean, those chemicals, and you have to understand that these chemicals were designed in aerospace for lubricants. These chemicals were designed, because it repels water, it repels oil, and it repels dirt. And so all of these chemicals that are trying to do something for aerospace, like, I mean, these were chemicals that were designed not for our ingestion, and not to be on our skin, or not to be, it was designed to be with equipment, and something that was very harmful. And so so hair dyes, nail polish, we don't have the nail polish anymore with longevity, but that's all right. There's natural ways that you can get around that, and so you're not taking in those chemicals.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, let's go up to Bill. And Bill, can you unmute yourself? What question do you have for Dr. Dennison today?
Yes, Dr. Dennison, thank you. Wanted your opinion on our drinking water using a hard carbon filter, such as what Berkey used to be. Its company's now been renamed.
So any water, needs to go through a filtration, and that's where that carbon filter comes in, a charcoal filter, carbon filter. Reverse osmosis is good, but it's not the best. And distilled water, whenever I was going through one of my certifications, distilled was the hottest thing, and so many people got on distilled water, and then all of a sudden they started breaking their bones, because it leached all the minerals out of their body. So distilled is not, I mean, it's going to get rid of all the chemicals, but it's not going to, it's going to cause other issues. And so thankfully we have the 9 essential nutrients to put back in, but so anything that goes through a carbon filter, charcoal filter, is good water, because you're getting rid of the chemicals.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great question, Bill. Thank you so much. Now, going real quick back to the cruciferous vegetables, Albert is wanting to know what precautions need to be taken with a person who has a thyroid gland and cruciferous vegetables. Are there any?
Okay, no, vegetables were meant to eat. Now, if your body's not breaking down, okay, even the endocrine disruptors, the whole endocrine system, well, the thyroid is part of that, okay? And so, definitely, the vegetables are fine. You shouldn't be worried about eating the vegetables.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, Dr. Dennison, you've had an incredible health journey yourself. And we go back thinking, okay, why, Lord, why am I going through this? Well, now we know. You've been able to use your own health journey to help millions. And I just want to thank you for not giving up on yourself, not giving up on your children, your grandchildren, and coming up with these products to help those you love, which then we can share with the world. You're awesome.
Thank you. Well, and I really believe that each one of us has a story, and each one of us has a God leads us in a direction. And like I said, when you know the truth, you know the truth. And so when you're on this show and you're hearing people talk and educate, you are still responsible of taking the products. You're still responsible of eliminating those chemicals out of your house, but you can be your strongest advocate. And that's what I love about what your whole team does, is the advocacy and in helping people.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much. And, with all of the things that are going around, it reminds me of a book that Dr. Wallach wrote. Actually, even the DVD that you can find through Wellness Publications, Somebody Should Go to Jail, which stems from the book he wrote, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. And it's not a bash on doctors themselves, I don't think, but it's what they don't know. And Dead Doctors Don't Lie goes through some of the basics of nutritional deficiencies and how the student can become the teacher, which is what we do as we are students of Dr. Wallach, and now helping and teaching others about what they can do to help themselves. So thank you for being part of this crusade with us. And we do have one more hand. Ruth Ellen, what question do you have for Dr. Dennison today?
Thank you. So if stay thin traps the fat, what flushes the trapped fat? And then also, what do you do for someone with insulin-induced low blood sugar?
Okay, so the first question is on the stay thin. Okay, there's ingredients that helps to trap bad fat, and one of those ingredients is called chitosan. Okay, chitosan, and the best way to describe this ingredient is when they had the oil spill in the Gulf, they took ground up shells, okay, of like crustacean shells of like shrimp, crab, different things, and that's what soaked up that fat. Okay, well, chitosan is a derivative of crustaceans from shellfish. Okay, and so that's what helps to trap the bad fat. The second question on regulating blood sugar, okay, whether the blood sugar is too low or too high, you have to make sure that you're taking the right nutrients. Okay, and so the 9 essential nutrients, but that's Sweeties. That Sweeties is a regulatory or product, and it is an amazing tool that we have to help regulate blood sugar, as well as I always, and I know if y'all have heard me talk before, you got to detoxify the liver at the same time when you're regulating blood sugar. Okay, a lot of times a stagnant liver will be the cause of why a person has low blood sugar, or even if they have too high blood sugar. And so the Hope product is also an important product to take as well.
Okay, so when the fat is trapped by the chitosan, I think I pronounced that right, I hope, that just moves through your intestinal tract, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for not giving up and getting on, because you are so amazing and such a value to everyone that you touch.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes, you are. I stand in 100% agreement on that one. And folks, Dr. Laura Dennison. Dr. Dennison, do you do consultations?
Oh, absolutely. And I give all my longevity friends, family, a discount code. And so my website is lauradennison.nd.com. And so it's LAURADENNISONND.com. And just put in the code 250FF, and I get 25% off any of my services.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you for doing that. And you're just awesome. I just can't thank you enough for taking time out of your schedule. I know you're not even in your own home right now. And being here with us to help the world, as Dr. Wallach has the crusade to help humanity and the world. So thank you for being part of that. If I could get my co-host team up on the screen with us, I would greatly appreciate, because we couldn't do this without a team, folks. And with having a team, it makes the saying, many hands make light work. Well, in the beginning, there was a lot of work. Now there's even more work, and I'm so thankful because I have this team to help with this as well. So if you have talents that you would like to contribute to helping spread the message, make sure that you get back with the person that shared this program with you and offer your help and share with them, hey, thank you for sharing the program. That's first. Share it with others so that others can hear the message as well. And then ask them, how can you be part of a solution? So we're always bombarded with problems. You've just heard the solution to one of the biggest problems that is going on in society right now, and that has to do with endocrine disruptors, mineral deficiencies. So get back to the person that shared this program with you. If there is no one to thank, feel free to give us a call at 855-949-3377, or you may email info@dailywithdoc.com. Now, today we have on with us Marilyn. So if you're here live with us in the Zoom, folks, you're missing out on what Marilyn does, as she is very active in the chat, putting information into the chat, doing dictation, repeating the questions so that you can take pictures, screenshots of what is being said to help you remember what you need to ask more about. So thank you so much, Marilyn, for doing that. We have Kaylee, who's part of our crew and helping with social media, bringing her skills that she's learning in school and helping to build more awareness. Thank you so much, Kaylee. We also have Ms. Sherry. As I mentioned before, she does classes in fermentation. So I'm super excited to have Sherry, as she's also part of our tech crew and helping to get everything set up to be streamed on all the different platforms, which we had questions that were coming in from those platforms, and she was helping to keep an eye on those today as well as Ruth Allen, my executive production manager, helping to keep us all in line and make sure that we don't forget anything. And then the behind the scenes when we're having technical issues, as she's calling and talking them through, different solutions. And of course, AJ, who's not on the screen, but AJ is our director of digital marketing, and he has been very instrumental in helping us get on all the different platforms. And I just noticed Albert is in the room with us. Hello, Albert, joining us from South Africa. He's usually the one letting people into the room, but I didn't see that he was here with us to make him a co-host. So please forgive me, Albert. And of course, Dr. Laura Dennison, one of the amazing naturopath doctors and professionals that we have in our toolbox to help us help the world. So folks, starts with you. Get back with the person, share this program with you. If you have any health concerns or you want to just maintain health, say, hey, what do I need to do? And then share it with your family, your communities, and together we can make a difference in the world. If you want more information about Dr. Wallach and his books, you can find more information about Dr. Wallach at drjwallach.com. You can call direct if you don't want to use the 800, which is 800-755-4656. You can also call direct at 619-420-2435, and they are open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 p.m. Pacific time. So Dr. Dennison, thank you once again for being on with us. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in a few weeks with more information. And I think we came up with another topic in today's show that we will be focusing on. So folks, have a fabulous day. Thank you for investing this time into you and your own health. Now use this information to help yourself and help us and you create healthier communities. My name is Becca Dukes. Go to dailywithdoc.com, find more information about the show, including signing up for our email list. And if you're not already working with anybody, you'll find the products that were mentioned on today's show. They're on the website as well. So have a fantastic day. Don't forget to comment, like, and share if you're on any of the different platforms. And also let us know what platform you're on. And that's how, if you comment, that's how we know. And if there's not a way to comment, email us, info@dailywithdoc.com, and say, hey, I'm listening to you on Spotify, Audible, Amazon Music, Patreon, Brighteon, X, Rumble, Facebook, Twitter. Oh, Twitter is X. I'm going to mess this up. Instagram, and so many others like Radio FM and iHeart. So folks, thank you so much for joining us. Bye for now. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach.